What's going on, everybody? It's T Reaper and I'm back with another video. Well, first and foremost, as you saw in the warning before I started speaking, this is 100% my honest opinion. Do not take anything from it, and this video involved me having a fun time with some British dudes and a Jamaican dude. No pun intended. And I was just relaxing. I legitimately woke up around 5 a.m. and I've just been catching up on some season finales, and I was seeing a whole bunch of, hate and, basically, throwbacks and flashbacks and basically arguments between Django Gaming. Shout out to him. He has his own personal opinion about how we all, should conduct ourselves. Shout out to E-Rock X. He gave a nice rebuttal, and I want to give my personal opinion on these two awesome people, because they both have really awesome opinions. They're both, fantastic people, and I think that I think it's time for some truth and honesty. First and foremost, I watched both videos, and I will link both videos if you guys would be so kind of check them out and make up your own mind, because there's always these hate when it comes to console wars and fanboyism, and all you Xbox people take these things too seriously, and I've been seeing that a lot, a shit ton actually, which is actually getting kind of annoying, but I take it with strides, because if people say you take things too seriously, kind of means you're doing something right. So I'll take that pun with a grain of salt and just keep moving forward. But the other thing is, I understand Kenny. I'm gonna call him Kenny because I don't want to keep actually pronouncing Django, but Kenny, Kenny, I've known Kenny since I've started on YouTube. Actually, he's been a great inspiration and kind of a good thing. I do understand where E-Rock is saying, where the guy is can sound depressive and or depressing, and he kind of doesn't know when to move on. I can understand that, but then again, Kenny can do what he wants, because Kenny has his own personal opinion, and Kenny has his own way of doing things, and if it makes him happy, who the fuck gives a shit? But then again, on the opposite side, and this is kind of where my honesty comes into play, Kenny is getting all annoyed with the Twitter feeds going all ham, and the console wars are getting too ridiculous and absurd. I see a lot of ponies saying that to me as of late, and you know what? I don't really care. I know that sounds really stupid and really fucked up, but I don't really care. This console war gives me something to do on a weekly basis. It's fun. I enjoy it. Doesn't matter if it's stupid and retarded. It's I enjoy it, and the fun thing that I told Kenny in his comment section was I agree with you, but on the side step, some people do take this too seriously, and some people can't handle criticism, and they can't handle being trolled, which is the other part of this video, where trolls will always be here, always and forever. I'm actually quite excited for the originals tonight, so always and forever. Trolls will always be here, no matter what the fuck people do. No matter what you guys choose to do, whether you choose to block us, whether you choose to ignore us, whether you choose to, pretend we do not exist and just go about your daily business, we'll always be here. And eventually, generation after generation, or year after year, new ones come up. Some people actually get better at it. Some people get worse at it. It's we've already seen what my trolling can actually do to people. We've seen how sensitive people can personally get. So trust me when I say this, Kenny, is directed at you. Trust me, people don't know how to ignore, and people do not know how to take things and just keep moving forward, because that's what we as trolls legitly strive for. And certain trolls legitly do take it a little bit too far. I'll agree. I'll agree with Kenny on that. I'll agree there, but it's only as far as intendedly necessary. And what I mean by that is only as far as we need it to go to make our point being proven, or it feels we proved our point. I'll use this as a really fucked up example. So, for example, the whole Fonzarelli situation. I knew that if I trolled him using his personal information, I knew that it would eventually trigger him, and I knew he would actually rebuttal it with a video. That is basically giving me what I want because, it shows that you quoted me, therefore, I got underneath your skin, my point was proven. Now, was the whole Twitter thing with the all-day situation, claiming that I was into Fonz and saying neither was his wife, was that needed? No, but I did that just to be a dick, because you want to come at me, I'll come at you, but see, when I actually know something, I legitly will say it, and I was trying very hard not to actually say it that way, because trolls, again, only is necessarily needed. So, if you can make your point without being a dick, do it without being a dick, but if you can troll people and you can go right through the, jugular, and a lot of, Xbox people don't like that. I get that. I totally understand that. I'm not, I'm not neglecting or, basically, denying anything that I've done, but did what I've done prove a point and get my point proven and get a result? Yes, it did, because I basically have no rules or strings attached to how I do it. Other trolls are not so easy, and some other trolls are not so expertly, trained. So some trolls, will, make memes. Some people will make GIFs. The Twitter, debacle will go on for ages if you get the right pony or you get the right, Nintendo weirdo, you get the right bot to argue with you. It will go on for ages and it will never end. And again, shout out to the people on Twitter, because these guys legitimately went ham and ham with me for 24 straight hours. And, in the end, it, went off, And if I had to give any advice to new trolls or new bots around the block, who are trying to do this, make sure you can conscience. Make sure you have the conscience to do it. If you are a very sensitive person and you don't have the balls, so to speak, to do it, don't do it. Because unless you basically, don't care about what you say to other people, it will eventually start to corrode and start to basically, it will start to creep up on you as years go by, as you keep doing it to other people, and then they do it to you, and then like Kenny was complaining, it's an endless need of bullshit. I agree to that extent that is true, but it's only that's when the wrong trolls actually do it. When the right trolls do it, they just do it, move on, and they go on with their day, no problem solved. When the wrong troll tries to be a troll and he's not equipped to do it, and then that person gets whiplashed, then that whiplash affects him, for 6 months to a year later. And then even sometimes they'll even bring it up, in conversation. And be like, oh, remember when this happened? Yeah, that was like a total bitchy time. Or they'll make an hour and a half long podcast about it, and bring in other people who also agree with your point of view, but they won't necessarily say anything what they personally think, because they don't want to be, called out for basically being, overly critical, and they don't want to be called out for basically being, oh, I think this guy is an asshole, I totally agree with you. They want to keep in their own lane, which is totally fine, and I totally understand that. But for most of the, people that, bitch and complain all the time, it's just really annoying, because the people who bitch and complain don't necessarily know how to deal with the whiplash. And with the whole Django, if Django's mad, Django can be mad, Kenny can be mad, he can be whatever he wants, because it's his own business. If he doesn't want to grow his channel, that's his own goddamn business. I don't care. Iraq, you shouldn't care either, because if Kenny just wants people just to view it and take what he has to say to heart, we'll do that. Iraq, if you want to continue supporting Xbox, do it. Be you. Don't let other people dictate what you personally like, because I agree with other people who have said this before, and ponies even say this. Don't let other people dictate what you personally like to enjoy. And this whole trolling situation, this trolling shit will never go away. It will never go away, because there will always be someone better. There will always be someone more, devious and seductive in the community, and it will go on for ages and ages and ages. Yes, you can try to ignore it. Yes, you can do that. But in the end, you can't eventually ignore this, because eventually it will creep up on your doorstep, and then bam, you have an issue right in front of your face. But I do agree with both points with Kenny's issue, how the Xbox and Twitter situation is becoming toxic as hell. I agree with E-Rock, where E-Rock says you shouldn't basically hold resentment for years and years and years, because how is someone going to fix something about themselves if they don't know that you have an issue with it to begin with? And that's if you have an issue with somebody, make sure you know that they have an issue with you, because otherwise they're going to keep going around their normal daily routine and not change anything. So how can they change something about themselves if they don't know if it's an issue to begin with? So I agree with E-Rock on that point of view. And then last but not least, God of War is legitimately going to be on our doorsteps legitimately within the next 2 days. I cannot wait. I am going to be streaming the whole walkthrough. Anybody who wishes to watch it, you are more than welcome to. And then I will give my review when I am done. I do not know if I'm going to be streaming 24 hours straight. I do not know if I'm going to, what I'm going to actually be doing. But hopefully I can do this without running into any issues. I've never actually streamed with my PS4 before. This is going to be a first for me doing it, so hopefully I can actually get this done. And then when I am done with God of War, depending on what my final verdict and what my final video is, I'm either going to put my PlayStation 4 in cryo sleep, or I'm going to keep it on my table. I don't know what I'm actually going to do when I'm done with it, but it all depends on how well God of War impresses me. And I hope you guys all check out the walkthroughs. That's why I do it. I document how long it takes. And it looks like I'm looking at a 20 to a 30 hour speed run, depending on how fast I can master it and how fast I can do it. But we will see. That's going to take place between the nights of Thursday through Saturday morning. Hopefully by sunrise on Saturday morning I will be done. Then I will have to tear apart the game's footage and make my review out of it. And I will be giving away spoilers in my review. Just heads up, when I'm done, my first review is going to be spoiler contained. I'm not going to be like all these other ponies that are paid by Sony with review copies. And if you don't believe me, just go to any of these review copies and they say Sony provided me with a review copy. There's your proof right then and there. But again, I cannot wait to see if this God of War holds up to what I think it's going to be, if it was worth buying one to begin with. All those questions and more will be answered probably early next week. And at the end of the day, remember, guys, this is all gaming is a hobby. Some take it more serious than others. Some of us enjoy it more than others, and some of us are better at it than others. So this is T Reaper. I hope you guys all enjoyed my lecture. Watch out for my God of War walkthrough and journey of the 2018 games, because this is the only time I'm going to be playing on my PS4 this year. And this is probably the only game that I'm going to complete this year on my PS4. So let's all just try to get along. And again, if you are sensitive to trolls, don't run into trolls. And we're everywhere, always and forever. This is T Reaper, and I'm out. Pieces, guys. Later.